Today is our last of 4 videos that we're doing on all the areas of Laguna Beach. We did the village area, we did North Laguna, we did South Laguna, and today we're going to be doing the canyon area of Laguna Beach. And the canyon is known as kind of the industrial, commercial, manufacturing district, if you will, here in Laguna Beach. It has the art festivals, meaning the Pageant of the Masters, the Festival of the Arts, the Sawdust Festival, the Art Affair. It's also got LCAD and a number of different other resident-serving manufacturers, businesses, things like that. One of the highlights of the canyon, or one of the topics of the canyon over the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I would say, is where we're standing right now. And it's been a controversial development here on Laguna Canyon Road. It's called the Art Lofts, and it is a artist live-work community. Let's go take a look, see what we got to see today. Yep.
This is Marcus Lewis.
Lewis, Marcus, Skenderian.
Hey, Marcus.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Been a while. Are you happy with the whole thing now that it's where it is from where it started?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful design, you know, form
For
must
sure.
follow function.
Yep.
And the whole idea was to have the communal spaces and everything, and having all of the studios open up onto, you know, 8 different communal spaces.
Yep.
So it really was, the design was basically for artists.
Yeah.
You know, for us to be able to take advantage of communal, you know, workspaces.
I mean, it feels really nice. I mean, just when you drive by it, I mean, everybody I think was freaking out at the mass of it and the size as they were driving by it a bit. But I think it really freaking fits in this section really nicely in the canyon.
No doubt.
So,
Make it beautiful.
Totally. Good to see you. Congrats.
See you. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Lewis. All right, that concludes our tour of the art lofts here in the canyon. Now we're on our way to the Pacific Marine Mammal Center here just down the road. So get in, let's go take a look. This is an organization that was started back in 1971. It started as a place called the Friends of the Sea Lions, and it was a rescue effort by Newport Beach, Laguna Beach lifeguards. Today we're going to meet the CEO of the Pacific Marine Mammal Center, Glenn Gray. He took over in the middle of COVID back in June of 2022. He happens to be a neighbor of ours, super generous, and was just really appreciative of his willingness to do this with us and take us on a tour. Let's go in, meet Glenn, get a tour of it, and check out their operation. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here at the Marine Mammal Center and what the future brings. I know you guys have a new project that you guys are in the middle of as well. I'd love to hear about that.
Great.
And what you guys do on a daily basis.
Cool. Why don't we go up?
Okay.
That'll give you an interesting perspective, and then we can come back down. Maybe we'll
Perfect.
These are just basically still pups.
Oh, no way. Look at them.
Now, you may think they're moving pretty well, but you know, compared to the seals or sea lions, they're not quite as mobile.
Yeah.
Given the weight and the construction of their flippers,
Oh my gosh.
but they still get around.
Look
pretty
at
well.
them. So then these guys are at what stage of the process here? Are these getting nursed back to health
They
now?
are. So I tend to explain the hospital. If you start at the far end behind us, it's not like checking in.
Yeah.
That's
Emergency
ICU.
room. Yep.
And as we come around this direction, getting healthier and healthier to the point where if they're in the pool over there, they're being ready to be released.
Next stop there.
So
Yeah.
next stop there. When they're released, they are released offshore by boat.
Okay.
The seals, sea lions, they're released at the beach because they're a lot more mobile.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what you typically see.
The release.
So they scoot out.
Those are the little ones.
They're the little ones.
Yep.
These guys would not maneuver that well along the beach.
Like these guys right here, you have, I don't know, 10 or 15 of them. Will they all go out at one time?
No,
or
they're all at various stages of their of recouping.
Okay.
But for example, we have a release scheduled this week. There'll be 3 of them going out.
Okay.
You know, some come in, they're out faster. Some stay
Right.
longer.
Right.
It's a function of what are they dealing with in terms of their their illness.
Yep.
What's the medical treatment? It really is run just exactly like a hospital.
Wow. Hey there.
I told you what he thought.
No doubt.
But also, I want you to see this? It's so easy to push up and down.
Yeah.
These guys are so smart. Within 2 days of watching people go in and out, they know how to push this open and go out.
Do they really?
So we have to put this on because, yeah, they're that smart.
Yeah.
About a month ago, they had a jailbreak and someone forgot this part and they all were just running around. It's like, oh my gosh, quick.
Oh, wow.
So this is the whole water reclamation facility.
Okay.
Kind of see, as this second level cantilevers out, there'll be 2 pools underneath here. This is the other additional pool.
Yep.
And then that's the shared facility that I was talking about that ties into animal shelter.
How perfect. What a
Yeah,
great
so I'm
spot.
looking at it,
Well, you guys are doing awesome things here.
Thank you.
Seriously, and I know you're having fun. It just seems like you're having a lot of fun with it. Well, you guys, thank you so much.
right.
Again, I appreciate it.
you.
Awesome. Thanks, Glenn. All right, we've seen the Art Loft so far, and now we've seen the Pacific Marine Mammal Center. What we haven't seen are a couple of the neighborhoods that exist here within the canyon, and we also haven't seen some of the other businesses that are in operation here in the canyon, being some restaurants, the Festival of Arts, the Sawdust Festival. Everybody's preparing for the Sawdust right now and the Art Affair, so they're getting their booths ready for the upcoming summer. Let's go down and take a look at some of the restaurants, some of the festivals, and some of the neighborhoods that make up the canyon area. Right now I'm standing in front of the Festival of Arts at the mouth of the Laguna Canyon Road, and the 133 is going by us here. The canyon ends right at that signal down at Forest Avenue. So the border of the canyon area is Forest Avenue, which is essentially 3rd, and then Laguna Canyon Road, the 133, all the way out to El Toro Road, which we'll go out and take a look at in just a little bit, and I'll show you a few of the neighborhoods there. But in the meantime, I'm standing in front of the Festival of Art. This is where they host the Pageant of the Masters as well as the Art Festival. And the Festival of Arts is known more for its fine art, the paintings and real jewelry. We also have the Sawdust Festival, which we're gonna go take a look at. That's a little bit more of the crafty ceramics, things like that. Although in here they have some real high-end ceramics. So what I also just wanna make sure we know about here at the Festival of Arts is the Pageant of the Masters. And the Pageant of the Masters is depiction of a world-famous art piece, and they put people and set in life-size form and scale, and they put it on stage. And so that's essentially what the Pageant of the Masters is. It's like a piece of art coming to life. If you haven't seen it, you really ought to see it, because you'll be blown away at what they do to create this art. It's unbelievable. All right, now we're standing across the street from the Festival of Arts. And anyway, I'm standing in what's called the village entrance portion of Laguna Beach. And this whole stretch along the canal here has been redone over the past few years, and they're still in the middle of doing it. But one thing I forgot to mention to you while I was pointing out the Pageant of the Masters and the Festival of Arts was right next door to it, just to the west of the Festival of Arts, is the Laguna Playhouse. And that's where we do all of our performing arts. Aside from at the high school, we'll do all the performing arts here at the Laguna Playhouse. So they've just been going through a new renovation at the Playhouse as well. They've upgraded it. They do a fantastic job bringing some great performances here in town. So if you haven't been there, do yourself a favor and go see a show just for the intimate setting that it has. It's a great place to see an event or a play or a production. Anyway, I wanted to point that out too before we take a look at some of the other stuff here in the canyon. Sitting in the canyon, we just left the Festival of the Arts. Now we're headed back to, well, we're gonna go towards the Sawdust Festival, which is out the canyon just a little bit more. And before we get to the Sawdust Festival, talk about a little center. It used to be called Bartlett Center. It's now been rebranded as the Hive. And the Hive is a little commercial center pretty adjacent to the Sawdust Festival, and it has several restaurants, a brewery now. So we'll go in and take a look. There's a new kebab and curry place in there that I've not been to that looks like it's pretty great. Here's the kebab and curry place, McLean Cellars, little wine cellar tasting area. They got some snacks. LCAT occupies a lot of different properties here in the canyon. Again, this is Bartlett Center. In Bartlett Center, you've got Laguna Brewery, you've got Kitchen in the Canyon, you've got Oliver's Osteria, Laguna Beach Beer Company. 7 Degrees is a local venue where they do a lot of events, fundraisers, exhibits. And here is the entrance to the Sawdust Festival, one of our more famous festivals here in town. We've got several of them, but those are the 2 most famous ones, being the Sawdust Festival and the Festival of the Arts. Another great organization here in town is the Boys and Girls Club. And the Boys and Girls Club sits right over here underneath those flags. And basically it's after-school programs, it's basketball programs, it's dance, it's education, it's art, really for after-school programs for the kids here in town. And we've gone there, our kids have all gone there. It really serves a great need for the community of Laguna. And just adjacent to the west of the Boys and Girls Club is the Sawdust Festival. And again, I was talking about this. This is one of our two most famous festivals that we have here in town. Sawdust Festival being more of a crafts and ceramics, and just it's a more of a fun, less serious festival. The whole ground is covered in sawdust. There's music. I've always loved the smell of the sawdust. My mom used to display. She used to do work here, and so we've spent several summers here. She was an artist, and I was just her kid following her. I got some great memories of the Sawdust Festival and time here. Here they are kind of setting up in there. You can get a little peek of some of what the artists are doing behind the scenes. See, this is the sawdust right here, you guys. It smells so good. It's my favorite. Walk into the Sawdust Festival and you get to smell this. Look, you see it before all the sawdust is laid down, it just looks like dirt. Eventually that'll all be covered with sawdust. Seriously, it's just got a great, it's one of those memories from when you're a kid. You just remember the smell, what it tastes like, what it feels like. You can get an idea of what it looks like. There's one of our special artists right there, Newlywed. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. So this is Laurel, one of our artists. What's our last name now? It is Meister? Okay. Anyway, that's one of the artists. And again, they're just getting ready for the summer. And restaurants are setting up, booths are being built. They take all the sawdust out, they put new sawdust down. They'll have music back here. There's a couple of little water features around kind of in here that make it really special. And as a kid, I just have so many great memories of just this, you know, summers in Laguna. Okay, so when we talk about the canyon, there are essentially 4 residential areas of the canyon. There is the canyon area itself, there is California Cove, and there is Laguna Terraces, as well as the Laguna Audubon. Now, the Laguna Audubon technically is in Aliso Viejo, the city of Aliso Viejo, but it's served by Laguna Beach Unified School District. So even though it's in Aliso Viejo, the benefit of those homes are that they are in the boundaries within the Laguna Beach Unified School District, which people love. Where we are right now is we're on Canyon Acres. This is called the canyon area of the canyon, or canyon neighborhood of the canyon. And the Canyon Acres portion of it's a real old part of Laguna. A lot of history here, a lot of art history here. A lot of hippie culture, Timothy Leary, Orange Sunshine, if you know about that. People who've lived in the canyon love living here. There's a lot of eclectic homes. No home is alike for sure. It's definitely not a track area. Homes in this area sell anywhere from, say, $1.2 million on up to the highest price sale in the canyon was $7.6 million. It's kind of a compound estate, actually up on the hill, tough to get to, and it's part of the Canyon Acre development, which is where we are right now. But it is definitely an outlier. Most of the homes are selling between $1.5 million and say $2.5 to $3 million here in the canyon. Again, not a ton of homes. Roughly in this area, there's about 200 homes. Then we've got the other neighborhoods that we're in. Then there are the other portions, the terraces, the California Cove, and the Laguna Audubon, and those all have a different number. I'm taking you back here because I want to give you an overall sense of the Canyon Acre neighborhood of the canyon area. These are the trailheads that come off of Laguna Canyon, and this trail right here is called Canyon Acres. Tough to see, but it's a bicycling, hiking trail that goes up and feeds up into Top of the World and Aliso and Wood Canyon's wilderness area, which makes up a portion of the canyon. And so then, turning right on Laguna Canyon after Canyon Acres, going out the mouth of the canyon, give you just a little bit of lay of the land here, and we get into what's basically known as the light industrial manufacturing part of town. So here we are, the entrance to the lumber yard, Ganal Lumber, and this is at the essentially the end of Laguna Canyon Road as you get into town. This area has all the animal care facilities, you've got all the towing yards, you've got auto repair, there's a batting cage, the school district bus facility is out here, building materials, again, LCAD occupies a number of properties along the canyon. I also want to show you there was a nursery that's just been reopened here. It was a nursery for years and had been wiped out quite a while ago, and now this nursery has just opened up literally within the last 3 weeks. And They're supposed to be selling farm fresh produce out of here, flowers, landscape. Also wanted to take you down here too because we just sold this house, and this will give you an idea of the kind of house that's available here in the canyon. And this actually is it right here, and they're doing some work on it. And they just bought that house for $1.7 million. Now we're going to go look at the Audubon area, the terraces, and California Cove as well. And so again, coming out here, a portion of it, the Audubon area technically is not in the city of Laguna Beach, but it is served by the Laguna Beach Unified School District. So a lot of people target those homes as a property to buy in Aliso Viejo, but know that they can go to the school district in Laguna. So a lot of people really like to go to the Audubon for that very reason. The terraces also do the same thing, and same with California Cove, although the terraces and California Cove are still technically in Laguna Beach. Now we're going out El Toro Road. Our first neighborhood that we're going to go into is going to be the Laguna Audubon. Laguna Audubon has about 266 houses. They're single family houses. They essentially live like townhomes. Some of them have backyards that sort of face each other, so they're a little smaller. And these houses in here range from $700,000 to about $1.5 million, let's call it, right? And then this will exit us out onto Aliso Creek. But over on the right side is California Cove. And California Cove has these little clusters of 16 houses within each cluster, and they're all single family houses. And these range from, these are about 900 on up to almost 2 million. Now we're going to go across to the terraces, which is the condominium association right across the street. These are little clusters of condominiums. They're about 1,200, 1,400 square feet. These range anywhere from 700 to 900,000, something like that. And there are about 160 units in here that make up the terraces. All right, you guys, thanks for being with us today. That gives us the full tour of the canyon, and we've done a full circle. We're now back at the Art Lofts here, which is where we started earlier today. And again, we have seen the festivals, a lot of the manufacturing that goes on in the canyon, a lot of the restaurants, several of the neighborhoods. Hopefully we've given you just an overall perspective on what goes on in the canyon. If you like what you're seeing, you want to hear more, you want to be sent more information on Laguna and what makes it so special, please like or subscribe, and we'll forward you guys anything and everything that comes in the future. Thanks.